Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's FailRace episode with Private Drama Boy on GTA 5, racing through the hills and managing to find somebody pulling out of their driveway. Now, I've seen many spectacular crashes up here, it's quite easy to do. That is just so perfectly timed. I've managed to, I guess, sort of hit the wall, hit the dirt, just lifted the car up enough so that if somebody pulled out of their driveway, AI car, pulled out of a driveway, launched the supercar into the buildings. It could carry on though, to be fair. Castle Knight up next on Borderlands is driving around with one of the buggies, and everything goes, well, a little bit skew-whiff. They don't quite hit a ramp properly, and the vehicle promptly gets stuck. Okay, it's not completely the worst. It's not the most spectacular, ridiculous crash. It was kind of on the boost and scooped up a ramp and got stuck at the top. Well, thankfully, the character has an ability where they can push things about. So, off goes the vehicle. Okay, it's on its roof now, it can be flipped over. It seems all fairly mundane. However, it won't get flipped back over as it now wants to get stuck on the wall. I don't know what would happen if they could have driven it. They choose not to. They choose to try and boop it off with whatever push thing. It then tries to reflip it again, goes up against the wall. They get frustrated with the vehicle, and apparently all it took is a couple of bullets. Yeah, that wasn't the smartest way of recovering a car right there, was it? Just a simple play up next on Ghost Recon, and a bike finding out trees are, well, immovable. And in fact, the bike, the front wheel is wedged itself in the tree in such a way that this one's not going to move either. Yes, bikes get stuck also quite easily in random positions. It's just, yeah, not going to be able to shuffle. They actually kind of mess around with the throttle, and it's just not going. They shoot at the bike, it sinks a little bit, but that's it. That's all it's going to do. So bikes are having problems. We're on to Halo next with Groove Rider, and, well, it's tanks having problems here. So they're off minding their own business, completing the missions, trying to free some people. Their tank is in the middle of this base, and as they free this next group of soldiers, the brutes are called in. They call in some big old drop pods that happen to land on the tank. And the tank, well, and the drop pod can't be in the same place, so the tank goes where the drop pod came from. Oh, dear. More normal stuff, perhaps, on SnowRunner for Unpoisoned, with the Jeep slowly sliding off the road. Now, we've all done it, trying to carry a bit too much speed on this game to figure out where they're going. Slowly, well, they slid off the road, they hit a sign, and it kind of tipped them into the next one. Now, for all the possible things on SnowRunner, this isn't the worst, really, is it? The sign is wedged in the front. Okay, sure, that's not really all that helpful. But you know what we're expecting when it comes to SnowRunner. The Hummer seems like it can carry on with the sign in the front. No, it can't. And there we go. Now we're back to normal SnowRunner. And off goes the Hummer into a million pieces and into the sky. Absolute Zero up next on Dirt 5 is racing away in the Nomad. Gets a little bit too sideways. Can't gather it all back up in time. And then finds a pylon that is wedged in the front of the aerial. And now we're going to spin around in circles. I mean, I'm not sure if this is better or worse than the Hummer finding of a signpost. I mean, it's... Either way, there is a post stuck in a car where it shouldn't be. This one, just the car spinning in circles rather than pinging off to orbit. Neither are really very good, though. Well, that's the end of that race. Chaos is up next on Wreckfest. Now, this is a race against the AI. Now, this circuit loops back on itself, but honestly, it doesn't very often cause a problem. But watch off to the left-hand side of the screen. An AI car completely out of control from nowhere. I don't know how it ended up over there. I mean, I've driven this track a fair few times, and I've never come across that one before. Just, yeah, murders the player. We're on to Need for Speed Most Wanted up next, and a race with everything going fairly normally here. Battle between the Cobalt and the Eclipse, when something not normal drives past. Yes, apparently whatever vehicle that is supposed to be, the body isn't loading in properly on the car. So we've just got a very, very fast set of wheels. That is taking weight reduction to a serious extreme. That is a really, really serious extreme level of weight reduction there. Calvin Soda up next on a set of Corsa is racing with some rally cars. Now this is mod, and as you can expect, sometimes mods can be a little bit janky. Well, the AIs, knowing they're in rally cars, decide they need to go and play on the dirt. Yep, that's everybody. If they're not in the wall, everybody is off into the gravel trap at turn 1. I'm not quite sure why, but apparently that's where they wanted to go. Ivan up next on Richard Byrnes' rally, with a rally car in the environment that it should be in. However, clips a rock, and it's the smallest, I say smallest clip, but there's a tiniest rock on the inside there, and it's a humongous shunt for the car. And the Citroen is, pretty broken after that one, I'd imagine. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even see the rock on the sort of first time of watching it. It'd be very easy to miss. It's just on the apex of the corner. And yeah, carrying a lot of speed through here, turns in just a little bit too much, and that is a huge flip. That is a very lucky photographer as well. I think the car spun over their head pretty much. Hyper is up next on Grid Autosport, racing in a bunch of hypercars. Now this is the San Francisco circuit, of course, well known for the sort of jumpy section, if you like. Things have gone wrong for AI up ahead. The P1 tries to avoid, player can't quite get it all sorted in time. Massive crashes going on for everybody, and the player goes for a backflip. Pings off the roof and lands back onto the wheels, and I mean, does able to carry on. But yeah, the AI, so after the Veyron caused a crash, everything's checking up. Something goes wrong with the Veyron up ahead as well, and as it's spinning, the P1's gone. Player just can't avoid it in time. It's supposed to be a flat-out section there, and yeah, big shunt indeed down there. And finally, we have got Mike on Blister 2, racing around the Donington Park circuit. Gets a little bit wrong through the chicane, just a wheel on the dirt as goes to put the power down, and the car slides off the track. I mean, that's a fairly normal crash. However, the car is stuck in the barrier. That's not great, and is now being magically levitated up. We're actually now going to near vertical. Quite why, I am not sure. I can understand even the vehicle being wedged in the barrier after the crash, but no, we're just going to keep trying to pull it skyward at this point. I mean, it's very much race over for the car, and in all of the pulling and shuffling, well, the rear wing decides it should fall off. Yeah, nothing else, just the rear wing decided it's had enough of the shenanigans here. But there we go. That is going to be it for this episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to it in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.